Oh, that music gets me hyped every single time. Guys, welcome to RKLB Daily, episode 22. My name's Liam, one of the Hustle Brothers here. You're well used to my co-host and founder of the Haste Club, Christopher Bell. And guys, I think this man needs no introduction himself. He is a true genius, gentleman, and overall GOAT in the RKLB industry. DaveG, how are we getting on, brother?
Yeah, I don't know about genius, but I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
Do you know what? We're ticking away nicely. I want to let the guys know Dave's from near Toronto, and I have a cousin living out in Toronto. And it was only about 3 weeks ago I found out that Toronto's not full time under snow. They actually do get mad weather fluctuations out there. I was so sure you were bogged down with snow 365 days of the year, 100%.
No, we don't get that much snow. Only a few months of the year. Really, it's nice out. Go swimming and all that. Yeah.
Guys, please show your appreciation for Dave on the channel here. Chris, how are you, my guy?
I'm doing great. The weather is clear. Thankfully, yesterday we had some hail and some crazy stuff right at the end of yesterday's live stream. But Dave, brother, welcome to the river. Welcome to Haste Club. Everything's way more laid back here, man. This is awesome to have you on. So happy to have you here with us. Bro, it's Friday. We're always laid back here, but Fridays, it's even way more so. I know you, man. And we know each other. I've been following you for a long time for a great reason. And no doubt, I'm sure you bought a whole box of receipts. And I'm sure you're like, what are these guys going to talk about? What are they going to ask me? But it is way more laid back. And I would expect no less from you. But look, if you just want to toss the receipts to the side, kick back, tell us some crazy thoughts, that's also most welcome. We're here to have fun. It is a Friday. But I wanted to ask you just a question personally. So you got started early in Rocket Lab like I did, and then you had the cojones to go, hey, I'm going to start a YouTube stream. And if you remember, there was like no one, and maybe Stock Track Girl, but there was nowhere to find. We were doing, to get information, to get research, we would have to do hours of research. So your earlier videos, I can imagine how much time it took to get the information you did. Whereas today we have all these guys in the stream, the live chats, and they're doing all the research and they're making life a lot easier for us. But not just what was your conviction behind Rocket Lab, but also your conviction enough to actually jump on YouTube and take it that much further. What was that like?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what to expect when I made the channel. Probably didn't think I'd end up here, although it's still, relatively small. But I just felt like I needed a new hobby. I needed something to do. I thought it would give me, more motivation to more fully research my stocks that I look into anyway, and just, see what happens, make some friends. And it's been pretty fun for the most part. I won't lie. Sometimes it's a bit of a grind, as I'm sure you're aware, especially if you're doing a daily show like that. That seems like that'd be a ton of work. But yeah, it's been a grind, but yeah, wouldn't change anything, I guess.
Dave, did you ever get stung as badly as us in the likes of Virgin Galactic? Look, I think me and Chris both learned a bit of humble pie at the very start when we were investing in the likes of Virgin Galactic. Look, we got caught in, we were pulled into a love for space. And
yeah, can I just blame you, Dave? Can I blame you for that?
Blame me. I never bought Virgin.
I know. It'd just be a lot easier if I
Virgin?
No.
No. He didn't.
I looked at them. I felt they were overvalued. I've never loved the space tourism business. Like, I wanted them to succeed, but the economics didn't make a ton of sense to me. And I still think, like, I guess being honest, they're probably going to go bankrupt, I think. No. But they do have a decent cash runway left, so probably a couple of years. But yeah, never got into that one. It was like the original space meme stock. Went crazy high and steered clear for the most part.
This is your first welcome to the Haste Club. question. Would you rather fly on Blue Origin space tourism vehicle or Virgin Galactic's Eve?
Oh, I'd say the New Shepard for sure. I don't know, like you know, Virgin Galactic, they had that tragic death of the test pilot, and they've had some more issues. Virgin, now I'm getting them all mixed up, but Blue Origin's vehicle, it looks pretty safe to me. You know, more of a standard rocket. They've got the parachutes. They've got. I would feel much more comfortable going on there.
I'm trying to convince Chris
I'm not getting
on an EVTOL, but
I'm not getting on. It's not gonna happen.
I'm probably
still not
fair. Like I'm not.
Yeah, and no tattoo either.
Either of them.
Thanks, Dave. Hey, we can sit on tarmac and watch everybody else. You know, we'll drink a beer and wish for their safety. But yeah, we'll sit there safely on the ground. That's funny.
I'd rather have the money in my my shares at this point than, you know, selling them for. I don't even know what those tickets cost.
Yeah, I'm just now getting into it. I like it. I do. It's fun. Sometimes it just has to be fun. It can't always. Yeah, money's important. But it does. I don't want to get. We're not going to get into EVTOLs.
We're on about EVTOLs.
You get me this all the time. But whether it's the EVTOL or it's a Rocket Lab, we got to be having fun with it to some degree. I mean, as much time and research as we put into it, it can't always be just about the numbers. But I'm sure you brought some stuff with you, Dave. I was going to shut up a lot more, so I'm going to try and do that more often for the rest of the show, I promise. But yeah, if you got something, man, let us hear it.
Yeah, I mean, I came here basically completely unprepared. Just figured whatever you guys want to talk about, I'm game to talk about it. I don't have anything ready to present. Wasn't really sure where we were going to go with it, but
no, that's all good.
That's perfect.
What we'll do then, we'll jump straight across to Chris's favorite part of the show, and we'll jump into some numbers. So Rocket Lab held above the $30 mark today. Look, after all, was sitting a little bit flat. We're down 0.5%, but we're not going to worry too much about it. One thing I do want to ask Dave about is Redwire. So Redwire, I got quite interested in Redwire. All you guys know me from the EVTOL space. We started talking about Redwire with the acquisition of Edge Autonomy. Edge Autonomy was valued at around 950 million or so. They have, or they're more or less a VTOL company, UAVs, defensive, fits in nicely with Redwire's approach. However, I have been passively investing in Redwire, and I've told you guys, I am not that big or up to date on Redwire as a company. Dave, would you be able to give me a quick elevator pitch about Redwire?
Yeah, well, obviously the transaction, you know, completely changes the company, where they were kind of a pure play space company before, and now they're no longer. They're like a multi-domain company. So they do have the space, but they also have the unmanned aerial drones that are obviously very big in Ukraine and just, you know, exploding all over the world in demand for, you know, military purposes. But on the original side of the business, they do a lot of work on the ISS. They have a in-space manufacturing program going on where they work on developing these pharmaceutical crystals that they can then bring back down and license the tech and develop new medicines. They sell antennas to Rocket Lab on their SDA satellites. They have lots of satellite components as well, various bits and pieces that go in, and they have a bunch of satellites as well. Interestingly enough, they have a couple separate satellites for the European defense market versus the American defense market. And, you know, the European ones, for whatever, I guess for security reasons, they're not allowed to like cross sell them, basically, from what I understand. But yeah, Hammerhead, there's like 4 of them. Mako, I think, is one of them. And now with the drones, I guess the thought is that the satellites will talk with the drones. The sats will tell you where to look. The drones can get a closer look and move in. And yeah, it's a very, very wide-ranging business in the space industry. They've done a ton of acquisitions.
With the likes of Redwire, look, you're going to very quickly realize Chris is the specialist around here. I am basically like the village idiot. I get all the specialists together. We're going to convey it back to the retail investor. But is there any worry for competition with Rocket Lab in the space system side versus the likes of Redwire?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Rocket Lab sells a bunch of components. They both do solar. Redwire doesn't make their own solar cells, but they basically buy the cells and put them all onto these rollout solar arrays. So they have that on the ISS, as well as I think there was like a lunar lander or something like that. Rocket Lab trying to sell full arrays now. And even just the fact that Rocket Lab is looking to fully vertically integrate. So as I said, Redwire, Rocket Lab is one of their customers, but Rocket Lab wants to fully vertically integrate, which means they want to get eventually their own antennas and basically everything they need to build all their satellites in-house fully.
Chris, you still buying Redwire? We're down today, 4.5%. You still buying?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I convinced my dad, and my dad actually bought yesterday. That's not financial advice, guys. As you guys know, most of the time I'm 100% in Rocket Lab. But with them, the dilution, so we saw that similar with Rocket Lab. And it's one thing if a company's going to dilute because they're going, hey, look, we're running out of capital. We're having kind of all these problems. But you look at a company like Redwire, what they're doing, it looks more like the dilution is for R&D. We're going to build out, we're going to expand, and we're going to get a return on this dilution, and you're going to get a return on your shares. Again, not financial advice. It's just, backing up a lot of what Dave said. There's a lot of very interesting things with the company.
Mm-hmm.
I did not buy more today. I'm just, it's Friday, but I didn't get paid. It's not my payday. So maybe next week. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah. I just wanted to disclose, since we're talking Redwire, I do have shares. So just so people are aware.
Yeah, talking about shares, I don't want to know the amount of shares. To be honest, I couldn't care less. I say to the guys, whether someone has 1 share, 1 million shares, I value everyone's opinion. But in relation to shares of Rocket Lab, we've noticed quite a few of our guests are very highly concentrated in Rocket Lab. Around what percentage of your portfolio is dedicated to Rocket Lab, Dave?
It's probably lower than most people think, to be honest, because that's, what I talk about a lot. It is my single biggest position, but in terms of overall portfolio, we're probably talking somewhere between 1/4 and 1/3, maybe.
Yeah. Even I'm shocked about that, not gonna lie.
I'm not at all. Dave no, because Dave was, as much as he knows Rocket Lab inside and out, we all know that, but he's also looking at things that a lot of us miss, and that's why it's so important to keep up with them. I'm not sure if you saw his latest video on Voyager. If you guys aren't, the 1 or 2 of you that might be in here that's not following Dave, you're definitely missing out. The guy puts out amazing videos, and he sees a lot of things that it's very easy to miss when it comes to just space in general. And eventually it does all come back to Rocket Lab, or it comes back to a SpaceX, because if you're really all for space, you want everyone to succeed. We joke on Bezos, we have fun here, sure, but in all reality, we want them all to succeed. Dave is really good at covering a lot more than I don't have time for it all. That's why we have him here. That's why we have him here, man. Thanks again for coming on, Dave. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for the kind words. I do like to advocate, a bit of, I guess you could call it responsibility or safety, diversification. I do have some index funds that are considered like the safe half of my portfolio. I started doing that even before I learned a lot about investing in individual stocks, and just continued to hold them, like getting those dividends every quarter or whenever you get them. And, it's boring, so I don't talk about it so much, but it's really insurance against me messing up and making a big mistake. Like, I feel very confident, but people, like, I've got family and stuff at this point, so if I went all YOLO in one company and I made a mistake, then I'm partly covered.
How long have you been investing for, Dave?
A long time. I guess it depends how you count it, because when I started off, it was basically, because I didn't know a ton about investing. It was basically my mom investing my money for me and telling me, okay, we're going to put it in this fund and that fund. And it was usually like, there's a few individual companies, but it's mostly ETFs and, in larger funds. And then eventually I just kind of gradually took over. But it's definitely been, since I've been doing all my own stuff, probably like, I don't know, 12 years.
Really, that long?
I'm an old man.
Yeah, you're Benjamin Button, dude. You're growing backwards. I can see your baby face. You're like babyface Nelson. Makes you mad.
Some people say I do have a baby face, but
yeah, dude. No, it's a good thing, and it's awesome that your parents did that for you. No one taught me. I only recently got into investing, and a lot of it. That's why we had you on. I'm not trying to like. You're a big reason why I stayed convicted in Rocket Lab. You helped me a lot, because there were days where I'm like, maybe I'm making a mistake here, because there's like 5 of us, watching this channel, and no one's really seeing what we see. Especially when I got into Haste, and me and Francisco and Johnny and a couple others were looking at this stuff and like, are we really missing something? We're just idiots. But you go back to the basics, and you're really good at explaining those basics to people. So whether you're a seasoned investor or a new investor, that's one of the great things about your videos, is that you can go in brand new, just raw, and not feel like you're missing all the important details. Makes it a lot easier. I can't thank you enough, man. I really can't. It's awesome. Everything you do.
No problem.
Yeah, I really appreciate it.
And I got a big leg up having my parents get me into investing so young and teach me about it, and put a little bit of money into funds for me, and then I could follow them and get excited about it. So I'm sure your kids will benefit from your just being around you, talking about it, learning about the magic of compounding interest, compounding returns, and picking good companies. It can really change your life and your whole trajectory.
Well, the beauty of having this kind of community where we are more laid back, but I'm a father. I do take it very serious. I do take my investing stuff very serious, but when you have kids, especially teenagers, you can't take that mindset of you better do this and you better do that. You have to have a bit more of a laid back approach to it, and they'll listen to that. So I did invest some money for my daughter. She just turned 18 yesterday. I'm going to get her started on her investment journey. But again, it's guys like you that have taught me the right way, and so that she's not making all the mistakes that we made, if that makes sense. So there's a lot more value in what you do, what all you guys do out there in the community. It goes a lot further than just, hey, here's today's latest news, here's the latest stock price, check out this, check out that. It goes a lot deeper, especially for us blue collar guys. It goes a lot deeper. So yeah, man, I really appreciate it.
And then, guys, any of you that have came across from the EVTOL space, I don't think you realize this guy has been in the Rocket Lab content creation space since the very start. He's the OG. He is, in my opinion, the GOAT in this space. So make sure you follow DaveG Investing. He's there not only during the good days. Look, it's easy to be here on the good days like today, where it's sitting over $30. But he's there on the bad days too. He has, as Chris has said, days when I was naive and looking around, am I doing the right thing? Look, I'm not saying he gives financial advice. He doesn't at all. and I think he'll openly say that himself. But he does instill a bit of confidence in your own thesis. He encourages you to do your own research. He just shares his research. And guys, I think I've said enough on that. Go and check his videos out. I loved your last video rebutting some of the Wall Street misinformation that went out there, because to be fair, that took a lot of yo-yos to do it. I don't know if I'd be too confident jumping in with that. Look, we jumped in against Martin Lucas Festival.
Yeah, well, I've had my own experiences with him, but yeah, it was just, I don't know. I just watched that video and I'm like, well, that's wrong. That's wrong. Like, yeah. So glad you liked it.
No. Right, guys, we'll jump straight across to the chat because you're really hopping off here. So I've been watching Dave for a while now. He was the first commentator I found. Glad to see him here and spreading out into the community. Look, we asked Dave. Dave came straight on. There was no if, buts, or maybes. He's an absolute gentleman. And Scott, thank you. Congrats and good luck. SpongeBob, good morning from New Zealand. Do you know what, mate? We'll talk a little bit about the scrub in a minute. I think Chris was quite happy because, look, his power went out last night, so it was a nightmare between the two of us. I said I wouldn't be around this morning for me, and Chris' power went out, so no, it was a nightmare. Olga, do you know what? You're literally here every single day. Absolutely appreciate it. Rocket Lab closes at $30. Cheers to the soaring heights of stellar vibes. Happy Friday, my friends. And you know what? It's Friday. Let's sit back, relax, and enjoy it. Jacob Keaton. Jacob, we'll actually have you on again next week if you're free. Absolutely loved the interview with you. Yay, DaveG in the house. Scott, woohoo, Dave. Welcome, Dave. Enjoyed your last vid refuting that Wall Street millennial video. Nicely argued with respect. I think we all love that video. And it shows what a humble, genuine guy Dave is, because from the very start, he says he's not looking to cause conflict. He was only there just to stop the misinformation. Look, it's very easy. I think if me and Chris made the same video, there'd be a lot of swearing and of sorts. Dave about to drop the new space stock. The G stands for good looks. We agree. We agree. Matt, my guy.
Matty.
Do you know what? Matt follows us every day since the start. Absolute respect, bro. Love your content. Keep doing what you're doing. Doug,
Matt's getting a koi pond. Matt's getting a koi pond. He is getting a koi pond. He might not know it yet, but if I got to do a drive-by kind of koi pond install, I'll just drop the bill in the mailbox. We all know Matty can afford it. Love you, Matty.
Doug, 21,000 shares. Let's go. And I followed Dave for 2 years, I think. He is on the top 2 for space. In the beginning, I thought he was strange, but he really is a good guy and knows a lot. Don't worry, Dave. I never thought you were strange. You know what? We're all strange in this space.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Sometimes you get lost in your craft. I honestly believe that. Dave is very knowledgeable. Nice to see you here. Olga, love the words. What's Dave's view on how far Rocket Lab will go into defense, directly or indirectly? I'll give that one to Dave.
That's a great question, Davey boy. I want to hear this one. I had the same question in my notes. Let's hear this one, buddy.
I mean, you know, they've kind of said it, and they're already working on it. They're already really big in defense. Like the SDA is the biggest contract they have, $500 million, and they're gonna try and get in for the tracking layer for the Tranche 3. That is coming like October-ish is when it's supposed to be announced. So that would be huge in defense if they did get it. They've talked a lot about being involved in the Golden Dome. I don't know what that looks like. I don't think anyone knows what that looks like, but that could also be big. The recent acquisition they had has a lot of potential uses for defensive purposes or in the defense industry. So Yeah, they're leaning into it right now, which seems like a good time for it because it's very hot right now, and spending is obviously going up in that area.
I want to ask you a quick question as well. Is when we were speaking to which one of the guys was it? Was it Jacob that believed that Haste will be decommissioned after 5 years? Was it, or was it slow down after 5 years? Chris, you might correct me on that. Are you in the same boat, Dave? Do you think Haste is a
but to be fair,
time bomb before it slows down?
to be fair to Jacob, this is Haste Club, so we are not going to keep receipts. We're not going to hold Jacob to anything. And actually, Jacob brought some really good reasons. What he said made a lot of sense, and that's the reason why we do rely on everyone in the community, because I'm very guilty of getting way too excited about one direction the stock may or may not go, and it's easy to overlook the bear case. Like with Scott O. When Scott O first got into Rocket Lab, or when I first found him, I thought he was the biggest bear in the world. No, he was just being very logical, very sensible, very realistic, and he brought the numbers. Jacob does the same thing. But so again, but I do, right back to what Liam was asking there. I got the same question. That's
I mean, it's definitely going to grow significantly before it does. It will peak at some point, and Peter did even kind of say that in one of our conversations. But it's going to grow a lot. I wouldn't be shocked if there's some years where there's more Haste launches even than regular Electron launches. But at some point, the need for the testing, will probably dip.
I don't disagree, and I'm a big, as you guys know, I love Haste. It's like my baby. It's a big part of what they're doing over the next 3 to 5 years. But I think you can make a case either direction. So it's important that we have the people in the community that we do to keep us level-headed, so that we're not getting too crazy on one direction or the other. No, I really appreciate the response. Thank you.
No, thank you for that, Dave. And then, Matt is also always interested to chat. I'm on vacation on a tablet from my wife. Okay. Dave G says, "Hey Olga, GB, hi all, GB, absolute respect, brother. We need to get chatting again soon in the DMs. Olga, hey Dave, good closing at $30. What do we think about Rocket Lab's future? We'll get onto that in a little bit, GB. And then why go in Redwire if you know Rocket Lab will go up? But I think that's the thing. We don't know that Rocket Lab will go up. We have strong conviction. Myself and Chris are very highly concentrated in Rocket Lab. Like my portfolio goes, Rocket Lab is significantly my largest position. Then it's Archer, very closely followed by Joby. I have Redwire in there. I have a little bit of NVIDIA, and I have quite a bit of Tesla now at the moment. I think Tesla's overtaken NVIDIA. Then Midwest Cannabis, 13th, like, party on, great day for you Rocket Labbers. And guys, make sure to smash the like button, but I want to say one thing. Chris needs 50 subscribers to go live with us here on YouTube. Make sure to jump in and follow the Haste Club on YouTube. Bang that subscribe button. We want Chris live with us here on YouTube. Then we have, I can't pronounce that name, Jackie's, is it? That was unexpected. It is kind of, oh no, I've gone way past it. Jackie's first of all put in, I have Redwire, Rocket Lab, ASTS, Joby, and Archer. I trim Joby, may trim Archer. Rocket Lab is largest. ASTS is most recent. Dave, are you in ASTS?
Yeah, very small amount. I bought a little bit and I was kind of hoping it would drop more and I would add more, but then it never did drop. So I have a small amount of shares, but yeah, not too impactful to the overall portfolio. Maybe if it has a massive crash one day, I'll add more. And even going back to the question of like, why buy Redwire when you think Rocket Lab will do well? It's also a timing thing. Like sometimes you think Rocket Lab looks expensive compared to other times where it looks cheaper, and maybe Redwire looks cheaper at a time when Rocket Lab looks expensive, and if you believe in both companies. So, and just diversification is, important to make sure you don't put all your eggs in one basket and some goes bad.
I have a quick question for you as well. Me and Chris are actually talking about this prior to the stream because Chris, as you guys know, is big into the defensive side. He actually got us quite interested in the defensive side of the company and everything. But my biggest regret over the last while has been not getting into Palantir. I remember me and my other hustle brother Reese talking about Palantir back. It was around $7 at the time. We're always bouncing around. If it falls back, and it never did, it surged forward, and look, away she went. Never got in. Do you ever get into Palantir?
Very briefly, and I got out way too soon, clearly. But yeah, unfortunately, I mostly missed that train. I had maybe a double off of a small number of shares, but guys like Matt and Vince made way more off of Palantir. So clearly, I wasn't excited enough or knowledgeable enough about that one. It's hard, you can't be an expert on everything.
Are you still in Nvidia? I remember you buying Nvidia at the time, and at the time it was like the all-time high, and this was like pre-split. Are you still in Nvidia?
Yeah, I still have Nvidia shares.
Absolute. Oh my god, Curtis. I think me and you have a love-hate relationship, brother, but I'm happy you're back. Absolute respect to you. Jump back into me on DMs on X. Love you, brother.
It's funny that right before, before we went live, obviously we always get together for a few minutes and kind of chat a little bit. And Liam goes, all right, we have about 60 seconds, 90 seconds, little timeline when we can't hear each other while it's counting down. And the last thing Dave said was, hey, how long does this thing last? And that's the last thing I heard. And it was so hilarious. And now watching Dave going, man, I'm. Are you guys gonna keep on asking me questions, bro? I can keep you here for hours, but never feel like you can't just say, hey, man, I'm done. I'm going inside or whatever. Again, love having you on. You're always welcome anytime. But this has been great. Just give us a heads up before you go. Do you decide, hey, I'm done for the night. So I do still have a question or two, but I wanted to ask you, because I'm sure
about that weird questions.
I always ask the best questions, man, or the craziest questions. But I know you've probably been kind of gearing up a little bit, and you guys are going to go on tomorrow, as you always do, for the awesome weekly that you guys put together.
Oh, I'm going to miss that one actually tomorrow, unfortunately.
Okay. No, well, it helps having a team, right? It helps having a team where other people can just kind of step up and step in.
Yeah.
It does help, but I'm sure you've been working on a few things. Is there anything you just want to put out there for us? Something you're working on? Maybe the next video? Maybe you just, give us a little cheat inside. What are you thinking?
I don't really have anything big coming. Usually I'm not working on a video like way far in advance. Like I get it done, I get it out. I don't like have 3 different things on the go. So just going to make one soon, updating everyone on my latest trades I've made and how the portfolio is going, because I have made a few different trades over the past couple weeks. Yeah, other than that, I'm not too sure. I'll have to see whatever catches my interest. I'll talk about. And working on my new house, as Curtis says. Yeah.
Congratulations on that house. Actually, that is absolutely wild. Dave, one thing I want to ask you. This is a pure selfish question, and everyone's going to be like, "Why have you brought Dave on to ask him this?" Do you know, content creation wise, brother, do you work on a video throughout the week, or do you bang it out in one day?
It varies. If there's some videos where I put like a ton of work into it and try to do editing and like get some footage to go over it and stuff like that, that generally takes a lot of time. If it's just me talking, you'll just try to get it out same day. So
please,
Yeah,
keep
just come
up with them
on.
skits as well. That made me proper chuckle. Do you know
what
where
was
you
that?
had keep up with your skits? Do you know where
Oh.
you? Oh, that made me laugh so much, brother.
I was like, is this stupid? I don't know.
No. I love
No,
that.
it was awesome. It was
I remember
awesome.
me and Reese talking about it after, and we were like, he is an absolute genius because it just refocuses you like that. All of a sudden, your ears just go up. You're like, what? This is different. But no, keep that up, 100%. Chris, did you want to jump in and say something?
No, I was just laughing. I'm just enjoying myself, man. This is fun. This is a lot of fun. I told you before you got on, it's a lot more laid back. And again, I'm sure you brought like a whole lot of info just in case we threw something at you. And it's Friday, man. It's, it doesn't have to be that serious. It really doesn't. But I don't want to just keep you all night and just bombard you with questions because I hope to get you on again soon. But we always have a tradition here, right? And it can be about Haste. It can be about anything. I prefer it to be about Haste. I'm a little biased, but we always like to ask the people, look, man, think way outside the box. It could be your dream. You don't have to prove that it's going to happen. Just, you're obviously a big space enthusiast. So what are you hoping for, or what are you looking at that could possibly change the future of space, or just, what gets you excited?
I mean, I don't know. There's so much to be excited about in the space industry. Just the commercialization, really bringing down the cost of getting mass to orbit. Obviously, Starship will be a big help for that. Commercial space stations in the future, as the ISS is getting a little long in the tooth. And it's actually it's a little scary how fast China is catching up, but it's also kind of exciting because, maybe that'll light a fire into the ass of the U.S. government in terms of funding for, NASA, which I guess it isn't happening right now, but, when China starts getting boots on the moon and stuff like that, you think the funding is going to go up a lot. So, there's a lot of things to be excited about for the future of space, because right now it's a little bleak for NASA with the funding cuts, but commercial wise, things are pretty exciting. So many new companies all the time.
So Chris always asks the question about Rocket Lab space. It kind of like always ties into Rocket Lab, but then I come at a different angle. Sometimes I ask, do you believe in life outside of Earth? Do you believe in a universe and multiverse? Today I've got a random question. Yeah. Would you rather go up in a rocket to the moon or go down in a submarine under the sea?
Oh my God. You know what? I think I'd rather go to the moon. I think either way, I'd feel really claustrophobic. But if I'm gonna do one of those things, I might as well go to the moon because, yeah.
You may as well enjoy it. That
I was watching a little bit of that documentary on that sub disaster. Yeah. And the first scene, I just looked inside that and how these people are like crouching down in the small tube. And I'm like, I would never get in that thing. Just, I don't
know. No way. There's no way I would do that. Like I said yesterday, I can't even get on the airplane without being a little nervous because it's just a big tube and it shouldn't fly. No one can explain to me, and like I'm a dog, to where I understand why that thing flies. I have to get on one time and time to visit my son, but I can't say I wouldn't do it. But right now, I'm definitely not the first one. I can tell you that I'm not the first one.
Yeah,
I want to give a big shout out to. It was actually one of our members that we interviewed at EVTOL fan club. He's a pilot, but he's big into Rocket Lab as well. He's always here, Mark Berry. He actually said to me today, if I come over for the launch and I want to do a few factory tours of even the EVTOL while I'm over in the US, he'll fly us around. So absolute shout out, brother. Big respect for that. Chris, any random conspiracies for me today?
I'm still not getting on the EVTOL, even if it's free. And Johnny Mac has not convinced me that I've got to get a tattoo. So the conspiracy theories today, no, man. I mean, we had DaveG on. I mean, that's the OG. I had a hard time just trying to come up with, questions to where I wouldn't look like a freaking idiot. Because hey, as much as Liam says that his job is to be, dude, my job is to be, I'm the idiot here. I'm the idiot here. No doubt about that. But no, I wanted to hit on a few things, but I don't think tonight. I got more research, but no, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. We got to do it again.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe I'll ask you guys.
Yeah.
I've never really gotten into any of those EVTOL stocks. How have they been doing? Have they run up like a lot of these space stocks have, or are they?
Yeah, so Archer, it would have been around October time. We were probably sitting around 298, 299. At the moment, like what are we at today, 10.04. We did run up to about $13. The biggest thing in the eVTOL space at the moment is the certification. Trying to get the certification over the line, because if you think about it, none of these aircraft have ever been flown before. They're fully electric. Well, look, you have your eVTOLs, then you have your hybrid VTOLs as well. So we actually spoke to one guys. If you want to see the Horizon aircraft CEO speak to us, we have it on the channel there. But they do hybrid VTOLs, so it's basically a cross between an electric and your conventional jet fuel. They can travel at a range of around 800 kilometers, where the likes of Archer and Joby's vehicles travel around 200 kilometers without being fully charged. They all hold, apart from hover, but they all hold 4 passengers and a pilot. And what the overall goal is to have these vertiports located around the city. And it's going to be a bit like FSD. So you go to your air taxi, you log in on your app, you go to your air taxi, and you fly, say, in New York, a 45-minute journey will take 10 minutes. It's meant to be seamless. There is quite a bit to iron out. It's very early on in the industry. I think they can work as long as they work with the likes of, like, Joby is partnered with Uber. And I honestly believe if you could get the likes of an FSD, the Tesla FSD, or any sort of FSD when they come out, drive you to
look at the defensive side and the contracts that some of DoD. There's a defensive side to it, and I'm early. I don't own any EVTOL stocks. I'm still watching the videos. I'm still learning. I don't know enough about it, but there is a defensive side to it. So there's a lot more to it than just the, I guess, Uber side to it.
The only thing that does worry me, and I want to be open and honest, and my EVTOL guys are going to kill me because I'm talking to the Rocket Lab guy, and they're going to be like, get him into EVTOLs. The only thing that does worry me is the likes of Archer and Joby, and we discussed this with Brandon Robinson, who the CEO of Horizon, where Horizon are going to be building the aircraft and supplying. They don't have to worry about infrastructure, yeah? But the likes of Archer and Joby have to build your vertiports, then have to run your operation. It's basically a second business in itself. And the thing that does worry me about that is if you look at the likes of Airbus and Boeing, Airbus and Boeing don't operate their vehicles. They sell their vehicles to be operated by the airlines. It'd be like Airbus and Boeing having a United Airlines business on the side of them. It's completely different. I don't know how I feel about it. Look, I believe they will get it done eventually. Archer's after raising another 850 million. Archer would be stronger on the PR side, where Joby is more like your silent steam friend. Joby would remind me a lot of your Rocket Lab, where they do what they say they're going to do and just get it over the line and then tell you about it. Like, even Joe Ben has been working as their CFO for the last 9 months, and they recently got a new CFO, and they didn't even put a press release out about it. It was only I come across it on the website one day that 2 weeks prior they had a new CFO. But
hey Dave, if you ever come back on here and ask this fool about EVTOL again, we're gonna have problems. You hear him? Dude, he knows so much. He definitely knows his stuff, man. Again, I'm not into it, but if I needed no information, just like following you earlier on with Rocket Lab, they've got some great videos. And I'm gonna bust his balls. I mean, that's what we're here for. It's Friday. We gotta have some fun. And if I didn't stop him an hour from now, you'd be messaging me going, "Man, when does he stop about talking about EVTOLs?" No, but it's great because Liam definitely, Reese, also Dylan, they all know their stuff, man. If you're interested, for sure, follow those guys.
How many Hustle Brothers are there?
So
we're growing. It's like a family, man. We reproduce.
The original two were myself and Race. Then Christopher is one, but to be fair, Christopher has Haste Club as well. So Christopher works quite closely with us. But in respect to him, he was here in the Rocket Lab space before us. And look, Christopher can do his own thing in the Rocket Lab space as well. He's not completely tied to the Hustle Brothers. This is his whole project. We're only here helping him. Dylan Rogers is another EVTOL specialist. We've got him. He's been following us since the start. And guys, any of you Rocket Lab guys, I'm very interested to talk Space Derivatives again because I really loved his content yesterday, and Space Ghost, Jacob as well. But yeah, we just want to grow out. We just want to be able to get all different voices across. Really, the Hustle Brothers, you don't need to be a specialist. Look, you've been talking to me, you know I'm not a specialist. But our whole goal is, we've seen the likes of, I don't know, Wolf of Dubai, people like that you can't relate to, yeah. As an average retail investor, I'm an average working man, Chris an average working man. I don't know about yourself, Dave, but you're probably an average working man as well. And we want to be able to relay the information from all different specialists, whether you're interested in graphs, whether you're interested in the fundamentals. We want to be like a building contractor where, look, we're a specialist in nothing, jack of all trades, master in none. We want to be able to get all the guys that are passionate about their certain sectors, bring it across to the channel, and then convey it to the average retail investor. And that really is the project behind the Hustle Brothers. But look, guys, it's not all about me. Today, it is about DaveG is on our channel. Make sure to smash the subscribe button for DaveG Investing. And also, Christopher, he is the guy that got this ball rolling. We've been here on 22 dailies now. Chris is the captain of the ship. Make sure to bang the subscribe button. If you don't know where to find them, I'll just grab it here for you guys. If I can find it. I told you, Chris,
yeah,
I still lose it.
Just follow the Village Idiot, and I'll show you how to find Dave and Liam and Francisco and all the other guys that gave me all the information so that I sound a lot smarter than I really am. Man, Dave, thank you so much, man. I got a lot more questions. I really do. We don't want to keep you on too long. You got a life. I understand that. I really appreciate the time you've given us. I'm sure there's more questions in the comments, and I hope we do it again very soon. If there's anything else, man, you want to just drop in there, please don't hold back. It's Friday, man. It's Friday. You know, kick back, have some fun. Any thoughts? I'd love to hear them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's been fun. Been fun being here.
So, guys, my name's Liam. I'm one of the host brothers here. I have the founder of the Haste Club, Christopher Bell. Guys, we told you we'll do it. We told you we'll get him. We got the OG. We got the GOAT. We've got DaveG here. Thank you so much, Dave, for joining us. And yeah, honestly, I hope to get you back on again sometime.
Yeah, thanks,
Sure.
Dave.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for
Awesome,
having me.
guys.